Okay, we do the thing. Okay. It's been
What's
a
the
bit.
thing?
What do you mean, what's the thing?
What do you mean? What's the thing?
We've
It's
been
been
sat
a
here.
bit.
We've been sat here for an hour having a conversation, like, you know, setting things up and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, cool, it's the thing. And you're like, why am I here?
I did it for comedic effect, of course. I knew
No,
what the
you
fuck-
didn't. Don't try.
Sure,
You're trying to back out.
Sure.
He's trying to back out of it. Yeah,
Whoa,
straight
okay.
away.
Yeah. Sure. We
Welcome back
believe
to
you.
the Roadish Podcast.
Hello.
He's trying to.
Sake, man. I just get bullied in life by everyone.
Do you want to be bullied some more?
No, you dude.
We're going to be slightly because we've got a plan for this episode because it's been a while. Armand,
Yes.
you put together the plan. I think it was
Yes.
reasonable. I think it's quite reasonable. However, you have all this time on your hands, okay? As we had a conversation the other day, and if anyone wants to see that's going to be somewhere else on the internet, you can go find it for yourself. I'm not plugging other things while I'm here. This episode I will upload, and I will edit, and I will sort. Every future episode is yours to take care of, to deal with. If you want input for thumbnails and back-end stuff, fine. But I got other shit to do. Okay? I have documents to fill out today that I'm not looking forward to. I have other videos that I need to edit. I have content creation on the brain. I'm meant to be streaming at this very second. But no, I'm here. Because you want to do this. You want to bring us together? It's now your responsibility. I'm passing the torch, okay? Here you go.
Ah.
There's my torch.
Thank you.
Wrong
Thank
way.
You
What the? I
ruined
fucked it. Can't do it. I can't give him the responsibility.
Wait, what way was it? No, it was this way.
Yeah, here you go.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't. It's
Thank
gone.
you.
It's gone. Okay, we're rinsing the joke now. It doesn't mean anything. Wait, you're drinking from the same can that I did. Ugh.
It's like you kissed.
I like how whatever just happened made Lay's cam flash like a. No, I'm out. I'm done. Okay. Back on track to some degree. Because of the setup that we have here, this is fine, and I can figure this out for the future because I can just send it all to you and whatnot. You're going to have to bring up the stuff that we're going over after the catch-up, because if I move anything, this is fucked, okay?
Okay.
I can't touch anything now. I'm hands up. I'm done, okay? I'm away. Everything is your responsibility. So, catch-up-wise, I hope you thought about it, because I swear to fucking God, okay? If I am about to ask you how you've been for the last 4 months, or however long it's been, and you're like, oh, nothing really.
I've got it in my notes. I've got like little bullet points.
He knew it was coming, that was why. Okay. First 10 minutes of this pod-esque-ish or so. Okay, we've got about 7 minutes. So I'm giving timestamps for everyone involved. If you want to skip ahead to the actual topic that we go into, skip to like 10 minutes or so. Armand, what have you been doing for the last 4 months or however long? I don't even know.
Nothing much. No, I've been trying to find my independence and my purpose in life. I'm trying to move away from home, trying to find new and well, not necessarily a new job. I'm still going for the same like career pathway. It's just I'm trying to progress in the world of the kitchen. You know, I started as a demi chef de partie, and then I moved to like, you know, moved up in the world, and now I'm a junior sous chef. So we're moving up. We're moving up.
So you promoted yourself from the microwave to the oven?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, nice.
I promoted myself from salads to pasta.
Oh, okay, sweet. For some reason, immediately when you said that, I just thought there's no fucking shot that you can boil pasta. There's no way. Like, I have a feeling you're still testing it by throwing it at the wall and seeing if it sticks. Pretty much like every other idea that you seem to have. But yeah.
No, dude. Yesterday at work, the pasta boiler was broke, so I had to use...
Hang on. The pasta boiler?
Do you not know how a kitchen...
No, immediately I'm already thinking, can you not just boil water and cook pasta? You need a pasta cooker to make pasta. You
have 300 orders, right? And you need the pasta to be somewhat fresh.
Sounds like complaining right now.
I'm not complaining. You can't just pre-cook pasta. It goes to shit. So you cook it halfway, and then you have this like boiler thing with little baskets that you put the pasta in, and you drop the pasta in there like a fryer, but for pasta and water and not oil.
Okay.
And then you have the pastas they use next to the pasta boiler, and then the stove is this side. And then you take the pasta, let's say you got a spaghetti pomodoro, you put the spaghetti down, drop it, put a bit of water in the sauce if the sauce is too dry, and then you put the pasta in, flip it a couple of times, see salt, pepper, you smell it, or you taste it, however you decide to do it, and then you serve it.
Okay.
But, I don't think I want to eat pasta you've smelt for me.
Oh yeah, now that we know about it. Well, to be fair,
that's every fucking kitchen.
Yeah, it's going to be everywhere.
I know, I'm just being a dick.
And I don't have much of a leg to stand on, but complete side tangent. I've heard more recently that vapes are tested by literally the worker just like doing a quick choke off of every single one of them. It's why I wipe them every time that they come out the packet, because apparently they just take a few tokes, make sure it works, put it in the package. And I'm like, okay. Maybe this is
it's like you guessed.
I mean, 20 quid.
The things I do for 20 quid are to remain between me and Rune, you know?
Oh, why did you remind me of that? Fuck's sake. Okay. I didn't need that. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, you're becoming less directionless and moving up in the world in the culinary arts of spellcasting or whatever the fuck a pasta maker does. Lay, how have things been?
Hello. I'm alive. Things are good. Music's going well. I've been an unproductive fuck for the last week, to be perfectly honest, because the person I normally quote unquote sit in the office with is on holiday, so I'm like, well, I can't work.
I obviously can't do anything.
I obviously don't know how to function without you, so
Armand,
but yeah, I'm all right.
Put the phone down. I swear to fuck, I'm gonna punch you. Literally in front of the camera.
Now.
Yeah, literally. I'm not on the phone. Fucking idiot.
This was not phones. No,
yeah. This is why I asked for it. Okay.
Look.
Okay, fine. Speaking of the music thing, you can consider this a call out if you wanted it to be, but it doesn't have to be. The YouTube.
Oh no, 100% call me out. That's absolutely fine.
Oh, okay.
I had a bit of a espresso depresso and was like,
I know that one.
Fuck the world.
Yeah.
But I do have a plan.
Okay.
I just need to implement that plan.
Yes, obviously. Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
My dog
still.
looks like a demon. Sorry,
you're not the only one right now. It looks like a fucking demon. Sweet. So yeah, music stuff is still going on, and you recently got some contacts.
Got some amazing contacts, which I can't really talk about on here, but things are looking up. Things about to get good.
Nice.
What the fuck is wrong with my eyebrows?
Oh my god.
Maybe the cameras were the wrong choice. Jesus Christ. I'll quickly wrap up for the last literal minute. I want to say not much, but if I were to actually list most of it, it's been content grinding, took a little bit of time off, new job coming up, streaming again regularly, trying to pick up the guitar more, Lay. I know there's meant to be a thing there. If anything, it's actually been more of the 8-string rather than the 7-string, which I feel bad for because I still have plans for all of that kind of thing. But because things took a little bit of a weird diversion with more recently with the work stuff and whatnot, because everything's going to be up in the air a little bit. The guitar thing is still a plan, so that's the thing. We're going to be doing a stream thing soon, so that content's going to be quite fun. But yeah, mostly content brained. I was even showing Armand earlier, my thumbnail folder is like stacked and there's so much stuff that I need to get through at the moment. But trying to do that on top of like full-time work. And that's been it. Trying to like get everything in balance and have a work-life content balance is, well, man, a lot.
You know, I'm kind of expecting Ruin, you know, like a few years down the line, you know, 3-4 years, he like booms in the industry, right? And he just gets like a couple of million subscribers and he just lives off YouTube. He quits his job and he just does YouTube and Twitch full time, right? And then like I'll still keep in contact with him, right? But I'll still like, even if he'll be like massive Twitch streamer, I feel like he would not be the type of person that would like let fame change it. I feel like if I'd be to message him at like 2 in the afternoon and be like, bro, can I borrow 20 quid? He'd be like, yeah.
That's been more frequent.
Hey, I have not asked you this month. I have not asked you this month.
Yeah, we're on the 21st and you haven't asked me this month. Great.
Maybe tomorrow I will, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Well, that's hopefully the plan with it anyway, just as a very quick wrap up. If that does become a thing, I can't say shit at the moment, okay? Like, no one should be coming to me for their opinions. Hopefully it's just kind of like half fun content. I have 100 subscribers, okay? It means nothing. If it ends up blowing up, I'll be the same person that I'll get random DMs on Discord and I'll roast the shit out of you anyway. And then Lay will still end phone calls in the same way that we have done beforehand anyway.
Correct.
Still don't know where that came from. I was asked the other day about it. I have no fucking clue.
I genuinely don't remember.
No. You know what? As an Easter egg, if you make it to the end of this pod, we'll sign off in the same way that we typically do. We'll do it that way.
Deal.
Cool. Nice little wrap up. Topics, subjects, things you want to go over, things that interest you, things that are interesting to you.
There's nothing to do with the podcast.
What do you mean there's nothing to do with the podcast?
Well, the things that we're talking about in this podcast is more of a learning experience for me and a way of your guys, well, mostly Rune's way of showing that he knows what the fuck's going on.
Wait, okay, so we asked you specifically to bring subjects up and now you're asking me to bring the subjects up.
Whoa, no,
he's saying he picked subjects he doesn't give a shit about. And therefore, enlightening him is going to be dull for him.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, okay, so I was going to say the phrase that you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You should do more listening than speaking, but this professional yapper over here, okay, says me. Okay, how about we do this then? Slightly touchy subject, but I think we've probably all had some sort of interaction with it over the last month or so, the UK riots. And how that's been going on. Lay, without giving away like locations and whatnot, there was one that happened relatively near us. Armand, I'm not too sure about your end of the country. I know that one of the early ones was quite close. Obviously I ended up going to the one that was near me. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna head down. I think there was one. I can't check anything. This is the issue. Okay, at some point below me, there's an empty space for citations and stuff that we want to go over while we're on stream. That will be happening there. General knowledge and thought process on what's been happening at the moment. We've had statements from Starmer. We've had statements from other MPs that have said some fucking insane shit. Which one do we want to start with?
Let's start with the Prime Minister.
Okay, so we had one of the first statements that we had from Keir was the further enforcement of laws that already exist.
Yeah.
Does that mean an awful lot to either one of you?
Not really. I mean, am I right in thinking he used to be like his position in government was something to do with law enforcement anyway, or have I made that up?
I'm not actually 100% sure. I know that he used to be a barrister and he was part of the immigration process prior to that, as a barrister or lawyer or whatever it would fall under. But his actual position in government, I don't know, which I should probably...
I couldn't tell you either. But it was... I don't know how to explain it, but it felt more genuine than other prime ministers when other prime ministers have been like, we're so against what's happened.
So you feel like his statement being a little bit more pointed of like, we are going to like expedite these trials, implying through what he said, because he didn't say this explicitly, but it did end up being the thing. Expediting trials for people that cause issues at these kind of events, essentially.
Yeah.
Not much issue with it?
No, I mean,
really.
the only issue is that people are morons.
What was your general... I don't know if you would have seen that initial statement. But I guess just generally from what we've said so far, if you were to take it as true, you don't have to believe it, obviously. Any issue necessarily with like cracking down on violent behavior at protests?
I feel like it wasn't done properly enough.
Okay.
I feel like the way this country handles violent behavior, especially in young people and under 18s, is absolutely shocking and it's terrible, and it should be way more drastic.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't think, right, you go, right, anywhere else, there's not the West, and
what do you mean by the West?
By the West, I'm saying anything from like
European area?
European area, and then you go to like, the States and Canada.
Okay. Well, yeah, of course.
Right? And you go to more eastern countries, or to more southern countries, like in parts of South America, or Africa, or like India, right? And you go to those places, and the way minors are treated is not to say that that's how they should be treated, but it raises more responsible adults, if you will.
Okay.
Because if you're looking at 18-year-olds today, right? And you look at most of them, you realize that they're complete fucking idiots. They've got no idea what the fuck's going on in life.
However, they will mention to themselves that they think they're on top of the world.
Yeah, of course. Right? Or you have idiots, like the ones that went to the riot. They will think, yes, what a grand idea it is to set a bin on fire and launch at the police.
Yeah. No, I can agree with you on that, but I think because there's obviously
the issue starts in education, where teachers are powerless. Teachers are fucking powerless. They can't do shit. A kid's misbehaving. No, to the naughty corner.
Doesn't really like enforce too much. Okay.
Yeah, and then the parents are wusses. Like, it's your child, raise him. Don't like, and then you have absent fathers, which don't really help with like children.
God, we're going down conspiracy. Like, wow. Okay, I'm not saying conspiracy. I get what you mean. Yeah, there's a whole system involved in what is required to like raise potentially, like, I don't want to say socially viable. No, that sounds rather weird.
But that's the thing, though. It's not applicable. Members. Yeah, it's not applicable to everyone. Like, I'm from I'd say poverty background. When I moved to this country, we had to live from fucking food banks because we had fuck all, right? Like, I'm not like, I can't say, oh, well, it's only the rich or only the poor. No, it's like, I came from a poor background, and I'm not, I don't consider myself a hooligan, right? I didn't attend the protest. I was chilling, playing Tarkov, right? And then you have people from, then you have the other extreme from the impoverished area who's like, will attend the things and sell, drugs and stab people, so you can't just be like, oh yeah, it's the poor people without fathers. No, you can't just make a generalization. It's more of a fact of there's certain factors that, because you're going to see more, like, if you look at the percentage of poor people that ended up in prison, it's going to be higher than rich people who ended up in prison. But you can't say that all poor people are bad.
No, because again, it forms back to like a systemic thing.
Has there been some sort of statement that it's only poor people?
No, I think it's mainly the general civil unrest seems to be like I know that one talking point that keeps coming up over and over again is like two-tiered policing. I know that doesn't necessarily mean between like the lower classes and like middle class and then the upper class, if you will, because I don't think, typically speaking, you'd find many upper class people attending these type of events anyway. Obviously everyone has the right to. I have no issue with any of that. Like, it's why I went to one. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to see what kind of people are about at that particular time. Lots of lies, which is very strange. Got accused of being paid. That would have been nice. Very clearly didn't happen, but I mentioned it in the video that I did anyway while I was there. But yeah, the general civil unrest is, I think it not as far as like hypocritical, because I don't think there's much like thought process going on there anyway, but it will be police are strained, and we've always asked for more. I think it was even in the last administration that people were constantly saying we need more police officers, we need more people involved in this kind of thing, we need more incentives for that kind of thing. But then anytime something like this happens, we end up in a situation where the police are taken away from what people were passionate about beforehand, when it comes to London stabbings or anything else that the UK is like stereotypically known for, if you will. And then they have to attend these kind of events instead. And it's like, well, where do you expect these numbers to come from? Like, you're trying to diversify resources as much as possible, but you're also becoming part of the problem. So it's like, okay, well, that's helpful.
But if you see that the problem is that foreigners have been villainized by the media in a way, because they're like, oh, this Islamic or this brown person or this la 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 la, like they've been villainized, so that when the British, well, like if let's say Ruin, for example, right? You don't like Spanish people, right?
Fuck Spanish people.
Yeah, fuck Spanish people, right? Ruin don't like the Spanish people, right? And on the news, he sees Spanish person stabs 30-year-old, and you're like, oh,
yeah. Well, that's something we have in our minds anyway. So,
but right, but
I'll clarify.
That is done so that.
What is he holding?
I don't know.
It's like a little club. Right.
I think he's having a tism moment. He needs something to stimulate his hands.
This has been done. Oh my lord, he's gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna use this phrasing.
This is a hypothetical. You can say what you want. This is a safe space. Don't worry.
Right. Just because my knowledge, not say my knowledge is limited, but my lack of better words. Right. It's a Matrix attack.
Fuck's sake.
Right.
Hang on. Okay, let me clarify for you, because I can sum this up really quickly for you, because you said earlier media. I don't think it's necessarily media. I think it's social media. So there needs to be that caveat involved there, because we saw a lot of like false information surrounding the particular area. The media itself, if you were to read through news articles, more often than not, 99% of it is just factual. There won't be much inherently wrong with it, other than like on a moral basis. Be like, oh, I don't agree with what's happening at this particular moment. That's fine. You can have that viewpoint because it's an opinion-based thing. But if you read most articles, it ends up being, we are reporting on facts more often than not. It'll just be, this is a statement of timelines of this particular thing happening. Like, there were 2 protests/riots before the Southport thing, but everyone refers back to the Southport stabbings being like the first instance of this happening. There were 2 beforehand, okay? This was like something that people had in their minds prior to that particular point. The media won't help things, which is, I think, a valid question to have, like the route that you were going down. When it comes to foreign people involved in some sort of criminal activity, their ethnicity or nationality seems to be brought up for some reason, but you don't really see it on the other side if it ends up being like a white British guy. Like, that isn't something that's like outlined for whatever reason, whether that's pushing a narrative, fear-mongering, blah, 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 all that kind of thing. So I agree with you. There is some media bias in that, is because it will be Spanish national does X thing, and you're like, does it matter that they're Spanish? Like, not really. It happened on this land. We have laws in this land. Hopefully everyone here that adheres to them to some degree. But we could have the exact same like viewpoint and attack for people who turn up to protest and then become violent for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Would it then be stated that British man from the Midlands attacked whoever? Like, it doesn't really seem to swing that way too much. So I can understand that.
They do that. But what I meant by Matrix attack
is they.
The high people. The Matrix. Okay. Right? They do that in such a way so that, because the way they say is like, if we fight with one another, we can't fight against them.
Who's them? The reptilians, yeah?
Yeah, the reptilians. Okay. You know what I fucking mean? This. Stop taking the piss out of me just because I'm stupid.
You mean you're referencing like the elite class? Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah.
Okay.
The elite class. They're like the rich and powerful. That not
well,
say they control them.
Yeah, but even in the grand scheme of, if we were to look into kind of like what the rich and powerful kind of like encompasses, they're actually incredibly weak. Like, lobbying doesn't have much of an effect on the government as people seem to think it does. It's just lobbying is a very scary word. Then you've got, like, you should be looking at things like Facebook, who turn over like $1 trillion a year. Like, that's mental. Or something as absolutely insane, which is like the alt-right's wet dream, is that the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, can buy a social media platform to make it private and then post AI fakes of presidential candidates. That's fucking mental. Like, that's a conspiracy theorist's like wet dream. It's happening right there, and you go, okay, well, it's just a social media thing. It's like, that's a fucking agenda. Like, how you're not seeing through it is insane to me.
And it's been proven that, like, Facebook have influence voting in the US, in the UK, probably in other countries too.
So it's not too surprising. So when it comes to, like, the elite class, it would be like the people that control things that can be influenced and have narratives in that kind of sense of things. When it comes to, like, Zuckerberg being on trial in Congress in the US or something, you're like, okay. More often than not, they'll change their behavior afterwards, but they're only changing their behavior because they've been caught on something. So I find that a little bit odd, but how many people have Facebook on their phones? Like, I don't use it all that often, and most people have it. Like, I think it has.
I only use it for Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, that's fair. Whatever. So yeah, it's all a little bit insane when it comes to, like, oh yeah, you can blame the politicians as, like, actually they're just, I don't even want to say that they're like middlemen. They're just enforcing what we already have, and if they want to put forward ideas, you go, okay, well, I agree or disagree, and then you vote either for or against it. But to loop back round, obviously we've had Starmer statements and whatnot. Not much. I want to say at this particular point in time, I don't think people care that much because nothing's really happened in the last week.
Yeah,
it died off almost as quickly as it started.
Yeah,
but
I've got a question for both of you.
No,
it's my podcast. I ask whatever the fuck I want.
Good point.
Oh
no, I've given him too much power.
You guys would need to be in the US, right? And you'd be US residents, and you'd get a vote. Who would you vote for?
Kamala, easily.
Really?
100%. I don't want a billionaire New York mogul in charge of real estate who can't pass legislation other than the people that he surrounds himself with to then run again with a whole new team because all of them aren't backing him. The only people that he's decided to have on any part of his team that he's got so far are people that have already said that they would agree with him on what happened on January 6th, which was usurping the Democratic vote. I'm like, no, why would I place any responsibility to this person who did fuck all while he had 4 years of the House, the Senate, and the judiciary?
I'm going to say something.
Well, hang on. Let Lay answer first.
Come on, Lay.
And then give clarification.
Who would you vote for?
I completely agree with Rune. I mean, it's stupid. It's just stupid. I mean, it's a somewhat similar problem we have in this country where things get locked in place and it's really hard to change them. But the man's insane. Like, you can't argue that the man is not insane. I don't have words for it. It shouldn't be a question, to be perfectly honest. It's terrifying that people.
That's fair. I'm gonna say this next thing, right? I'm giving all the heads up in the world, right? Whoever's watching this,
you can clarify as much as you want afterwards. Just what's your point?
Okay. But a woman in office? That's scandalous.
DEI hire.
I'm joking. I am 100% joking. I don't mean any harm. I love women. The great 10 out of 10.
It seems to be at the moment anyway. If we were to slightly pivot into that point anyway, the only talking point that seems to be against Kamala Harris that the Republicans seem to have come up with is that she's like unqualified to do this. If anything, she's almost the most qualified person to be involved in this at the moment. Like, her raise through her career, where she's been she was a DA. The background that she came from was for advocating for human rights, I believe. I have to check into the specifics on that one particularly. And then I can't remember what her place was in Congress, but even so, she was in Congress. So it's just like,
If your
Yeah.
argument
senator.
is
I
she's
think she was a
unqualified, how is your argument not Trump is less qualified than she is?
Yeah, good point.
That's fair. But then who the fuck is gonna build the wall?
He's rage baiting. He's rage baiting right now. He's rage baiting is what he's doing. He's my YouTube comments. That's what he is right now. He's no better than my YouTube comments.
This doesn't work when we know you're lying, though.
But even that, okay, if I were to take that seriously, that would be fine. But why did he do fuck all while he had all three presidential powers and the power of the executive as executive orders, essentially having to force through his own ideas? And then, like, even fiduciary as well. I think he's the third highest president to increase the national debt by stupid amounts of trillions.
Well,
and he was meant to, it was like meant to be coming in as a businessman. I'm like, cool. And like, maybe there'll be some financial decisions here that all like reduce the national debt. Not that it affects any of us, obviously, but I mean, that's what he's running on. And then he ends up being the third most like irresponsible spender. And I'm like, you can't even blame that on like, I'm going to say virus, just because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of YouTube picking up on certain words and whatnot.
Really? Is it that bad?
Sometimes it can be, algorithm things and picking up on numbers. You can't even blame it on that because he was doing that 2 years prior.
Yeah.
And then he has to send in the military to do part of the border protection. I'm like, I thought this was meant to add American jobs rather than just redistributing the powers you already have. I don't know. Just it doesn't make sense to do so. And one thing that I will be making a video on soon is because I've been asked about it a lot, comment-wise, the confirmation of his mental decline, which is something that he ran against when it came to Joe over and over again. Because slow Joe, he's not all there. I think we can agree to some degree that mental capabilities weren't as good as they could have been.
No, of course.
But now there's been like a whole range of psychologists that have looked through his speeches and how it's degraded over time, and they've essentially confirmed that he has mental decline. It's not surprising. He's the oldest running mate for president ever. So it's like, this isn't surprising. I just yapped a lot.
No, but it's valid.
Valid.
It's because I'm
valid
face.
yappering. Valid yappering. If I would have a choice, I would see. I love Trump because he's comical and because he succeeded as a businessman, right?
Apart from having to declare bankruptcy.
Okay, but he did. Whatever, dude. Whatever.
Okay.
Right.
If you really look at the numbers, he didn't. He just got a really good start.
It'd be great. It'd be great to
if he
be
was
given
good businessman, he'd be so much richer than he is right now.
Rather than just being given 400 million by his dad and being like, "Have fun," and it's like, okay. Anyway, go on. Okay, yeah, go on.
It would. He's comical, and obviously when he nearly got pew-pewed, I feel like that was such a power move the way he reacted. But at the end of the day, he's comical. He's great. He's a great showman. But president?
Exactly. Like
agreeable.
Comical, sure, he's funny, but does that mean he should be president? Of course not.
I mean, Zelensky was funny, and he's president, and look where Ukraine is.
Doing really well. Doing surprisingly.
Actually, yeah, they're doing really well. One second, I think I just
shit yourself.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, the IQ level is like 60, so...
Okay, one second, I need to get a tissue. I just like...
Yeah, shit himself!
No, I can't show you that on stream.
Go on, go do what you want.
I'm bleeding.
Okay. Okay. Great podcasting. I think he's having a bit of an issue, which I don't blame him for, in saying the words "I would vote Democrat" if he was in that situation. But it's one of those things. Is like if you were to weigh it out, going from past behaviours being a sign of future endeavours, it is going to help the middle class more. Of course, it is, because the only thing that Trump did was tax cuts for his billionaire mates, and it's like, okay, cool. And he had so much power at the time to be able to do other things. Like, I think one of Joe Biden's last speeches before the whole kind of like I'm dropping out of the race ended up being a bit of a dig when a journalist asked Joe I think that the journalist asked something along the type of lines of like, Donald Trump said that he could get these hostages out without any. I think this was referencing Russian hostages. He could have done it without conceding anything. In which Joe's response was like, well, "Why didn't he do it then?"
Good
Yeah.
afternoon, children.
Rich. Anyway, we are slightly over, but we can do one more topic if you want to, and I'm going to yap less.
The only other topics I have, Lay has absolutely zero interest in.
How do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the new Aston Martin Vanquish is being revealed, and I'm really, really excited for it.
See, this is why we had the conversation the other day about you having your own YouTube and going over car news. Because, yeah, you're right. Not only does Lay not give a fuck, neither do I.
Oh, really?
Not really. Every 6 months, I get offered to pay for or buy a DB9, and I'm like, no, I'm all right.
Off who?
That's an off-pod conversation. That's fine. We can have that.
I want a DB9.
That's the car I promised I'd buy my mum if I ever
Oh, really? A DB9?
could. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like my early dream car of like, oh yeah, for unrealistic dream car, DB9, realistic dream car, MR2, and then we all know what happened there.
So, how much for?
It started at 20k and now it's ever so slightly less.
I'll take it.
Yeah, because you have
that. You have it, yeah? Ready to go?
2 weeks ago you asked me for 20 quid. Oh, I'm gonna go buy rope. Right. Closing thoughts.
Can I sell you the rope so I have a bit of money so I can buy that DB9?
No, I really want rope. Lay, plans for the next let's say 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks, I will be finishing off the mixing and mastering of our new single.
Nice.
I shall hopefully be making some YouTube content.
I'm going to bully you to do so.
Thank you very much. And in theory, I should also come back to Twitch. And
I'll do the same. Refer to my last comment.
things.
And health things, obviously.
And health things that need answers.
Of course. Armand, I know you haven't thought about this, and I know...
For the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Very... Right. Next week, got like 2 or 3 interviews.
Cool.
Right. This week, I'm just relaxing. I'm just like, I'm going away for like tomorrow. I'm going away for nearly like a week. I'm just going to chill, going to relax, recharge my batteries, come back, smash the interviews, get a new job, get more money, buy that DB9.
Okay.
And I want to go on a holiday in September, and I've got a bit of money saved up for that.
Okay. Nice. Not asking me for 20 quid then.
Oh no, I will. I will.
Okay.
You've got money saved up for a holiday. Take it out of that.
Yeah, I ain't doing shit. You've just fucked yourself royally.
It's right. Listen. The money saved up for the holiday, right, is I want to get like a hotel in like Sheffield or like Birmingham, get like a Premier Inn, and just like go away for 2 nights with my girlfriend and like go around like a massive Primark. Like I don't mean like a proper holiday. I've got like 70 quid saved up. Which, speaking of, I need to buy a train ticket. Fuck. So I've got like probably 20 quid.
Our aspirations for a holiday, and you're like,
Oh,
I just want to go Primark. Jesus Christ.
I don't want to. She wants to. I mean, actually, I don't mind Primark. I kind of like Primark.
Primark's fine.
Cool.
Okay. And then I'm trying.
What about you, Pookie?
Genuinely trying to think of like, because it's just been like day in day out. It's going to be more content stuff. There's going to be more YouTube. There's going to be more streaming. All of my content obviously comes from streaming anyway. I'm hoping to get some IRL content at some point. I'm hoping to do a airsoft game sometime soon. Me and Summer.
Ooh.
We're going to go. I might try and record some, but obviously got to be careful, that kind of thing. Health and safety, and also the smashing of phone screens is something that happens quite a bit. But yeah, it's just going to be like...
I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
First week of September.
Okay.
I think I'll have off
In-person pod.
What?
Are you saying in-person pod?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
I think I'll have off like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Or like
off pod. We'll deal with dates off pod. Don't worry about it. It's way off in the week.
But,
in the weeks.
But I will try and get a hold of a train ticket, which will probably be like £1 billion because you live in the fucking Netherlands. You live in fucking Narnia, right?
Yeah, just open a wardrobe. I'll be there then. What's happening?
My TV turned on for some reason. Sorry.
So
okay.
I'll have to look into getting a fucking train ticket and then finding places to sleep.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I'll try and do a in-person pod with you guys probably sometime in September. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay, we'll figure out something to be able to sort that. I'm sure we can.
Yeah, of course.
Other than that, more pods. We'll be doing more pods, and we'll have
more pods.
Yeah, more structure.
Which will be horribly edited. Because as Rune said at the beginning of the video, it's going to be my job to edit them. And knowing how much I, not to say procrastinate, but it's just like, it takes a good like hour for me to like say, okay, let's fucking do this. And then once I'm doing it, it's not that bad.
I'll give you a crash course. We'll be fine. Right.
Okay.
Love your faces. Thanks for
Bye.
coming in. Blah, 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 blah.